San Diego County has already put together 4 climate action plans, each a spectacular failure.
It's just like Groundhog's Day. It has been Groundhog's Day. I mean, that we just have to keep revisiting.
The Climate Action Campaign's Nicole Capritz says the county has been pushed by the state. California law requires all counties to reduce the amount of greenhouse gas they put into the air, but none of the county's previous climate action plans survived legal scrutiny.
They've been defiant. I mean, purely defiant, and didn't care what the state law said. And so despite what the court kept saying, like, that's not okay, they just kept doing the same thing. So here we are.
Environmental advocates say they've shared their views about what will work with the county, but each final plan failed to include their input.
That's always been the crux of the problem. They really had their own game plan in mind, and so they were kind of having perfunctory public process, but they really, at the end of the day, wanted to continue to allow growth in the backcountry.
One major issue is vehicle miles traveled. That's how the state determines how many greenhouse gas emissions are getting into the atmosphere. More cars on the road, driving more miles means more emissions in the air. County officials have a general plan that aims to limit increases in vehicle miles traveled by locating new housing near existing services. But the county has approved 14 large developments in rural areas.
Let's just stop pretending we can continue to develop the backcountry.
Even the state of California has warned the county that those sprawl developments would hurt the state's ability to hit its 2030 goal to roll back greenhouse gas emissions.
We need to embrace that climate change is real. We need to embrace that we not only have a legal but a moral obligation to have a climate action plan that addresses that. And I believe that early January, this board will make a definitive statement to that end and begin to implement that change.
The reason for that shift is tied to the election. For the first time in years, the Board of Supervisors will have a 3-2 Democrat majority. Fletcher expects the new board to announce early on that things are changing, and it will not be business as usual. Superior Court Judge Timothy Taylor has ruled on a number of climate action plans and housing developments in the county.
My hope is that as a board, as we move forward, Judge Taylor won't have anything to do, because this county has kept that judge incredibly busy over the course of the last decade, and we've lost every single lawsuit because we've had the wrong approach.
That wrong approach has created financial incentives for builders to buy rural land and then seek exceptions to county development rules.
If you purchase that land for very, very little value and you jam through a general plan amendment, you can reap tremendous financial gain. And so we've fiscalized and incentivized folks to fight for decades to put housing in the wrong place.
KPBS reached out to the Building Industry Association several times seeking comment. They did not respond to those inquiries. The trade group has successfully lobbied the board to approve developments that do not follow the general plan, because they say those developments will ease a regional housing shortage. But if builders continue to push for housing in the backcountry, environmentalists say they have to compensate for the resulting impacts locally.
Developers really need to take a look and see how they can offset all of these problems.
The local Sierra Club's Richard Miller says if developments cause more greenhouse gas emissions, the people who build those projects should be responsible for balancing the scales.
By doing some very simple things like adding solar, possibly preserving the land that's around them, building electrification. So there are ways that they can reach a net zero on a lot of building.
Meanwhile, county staff are looking to build a climate action plan that will finally be resilient to legal challenges. That includes discussions with environmentalists. Erik Anderson, KPBS News.